I lost connection here. Let's see. Hopefully not. All right. It says I lost connection. Hopefully I didn't lose connection. Okay, good. So we are live now. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So we should be live now. Okay, good. So we are going to talk about employment-based visas today while we are getting some of the questions coming up. So we'll be live longer than the usual 30 minutes today just because we have a little bit more time. We'll be on for about 40 minutes or so because we have a little bit more time. So yes, awesome. We are going to talk about employment-based visas, but those that do not require an employer to sponsor you. So hopefully we can talk about those more than the other ones. Of course, I am, as always, going to address any immigration questions that everyone has. So if you have any immigration questions, please put them in the chat and I will address them. Again, we are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So put your questions down there and I'll address them as I see them coming up. So I was just talking to someone the other day and I want to point out a couple of things, okay? One, the first things is do not expect an immigration attorney to give you a free consultation. Let me tell you why you should not expect that. When you, in most states in the United States, the only lawyers who would give you a free consultation, well, there are two different things, okay? First, in most states, the immigration lawyers who give you free consultation, it's not the actual lawyer who gives you the free consultation, it's their intake staff. Okay, so their intake staff are not lawyers. They're not lawyers. They're going to ask for information. They're going to ask for you to give them a lot of information. And then the only thing they're going to tell you is, can they help you or not? Okay, so you're not really getting your questions answered. Okay, in the case that you are going to get an attorney to answer your questions, okay, there is two things that play there. Okay, you have to answer yourself. You have to really ask yourself, one, do you really want an attorney who is that free and has that much time available on their hands to answer free questions all day long? Do you really want that attorney to work for you? And second, do you want an attorney to answer a question when they do not know your history? Because if they can answer those questions, how much time did they take to know about your history to make sure that the answer they are giving you is correct? Okay, so those are the two things that I want you to consider before you call an immigration attorney. Okay, so somebody asked the question, Shan, filed VAWA in April 2021. I received the combo card, and for prima facie, how long for a decision? So you filed the VAWA in April 21, you received the combo card. So, and you received the prima facie. Fantastic. So you are in good position, okay? So you only filed about 2 years and 4 months ago, okay? VAWAs do take a long time. So you filed VAWA plus adjustment of status. So VAWA plus adjustment of status, the way that works, it's first the Vermont unit is going to first make a decision on your I-360 application, which is the VAWA portion. If they do decide to waive the green card application, the green card interview, they could also make a decision on your green card application as well, and they are going to approve the green card, okay? Most of the time, not always, but most of the time they do, after they approve the 360 application, they're going to send it to the local office, which is where you live, and they're going to call you for an interview for the green card. Not all the time. Lately, they've been waiving those, okay? So let's see how long it takes right now. I can tell you. Let's see how long they take for that. They've been very slow right now. They have been really, really slow for that. for the VAWAs, okay? 34 months, so almost 3 years, okay? So we are looking at February 2024 just to get a decision on the VAWA, but that's around the corner. If you really think about it, we are looking at about 6 months. And when they do say those processing times, they are looking at 80% of the cases that they have. So what does that mean? It means 80% of the cases get processed more or less in about 34 months. So yours could be earlier or later than that. Once your case is past the processing time, you can file an inquiry, okay? So you obviously have done so far the right thing. You know exactly what you're talking about. So you might want to call your lawyer when it comes to February and see if it's anything you can do to see where the case is. And until then, really nothing you can do about it. But you're in good position, okay? You're in a good position for that. All right, let's see. Oh, more questions. Good on that. Good job, Shan. All right. Can I file N400 right after a year if I had my conditions removed via waiver with extreme battery? So it's not after a year of having the conditions removed. The timing of the N400 gets counted from the time you became a permanent resident, okay? So you look at your green card, okay, and it says on the green card, permanent resident from, LPR since. And you look from that time and you calculate 2 years, 9 months, and 1 day. And that is the earliest you can file, okay? Now, if your condition was removed via that, you need to make sure that your condition was actually removed based on that. So your 751 decision must specifically state that that is the ground under which it was removed. Because if your application was filed and it was more than one ground selected, you have no way of knowing under which one it was, because you may have selected more than one. So unless it specifically says it was that, you need to make sure, okay? If you're not in a rush, don't be in a rush, okay? How long after I did the biometric can I get the work permit? The biometric has nothing to do with how soon you get the work permit. After the biometrics are done, okay? After the biometrics are done, they send it to FBI. They do a full background check. When they get the background checks, they get processed again. So your case is being processed, and then they are going to issue the work permit. So it really has nothing to do, okay? It really has nothing to do with when your biometric was done. The biometric really just puts you back in the queue, okay? The work permit, though, is being processed based on your category. Okay, so the category for the work permit matters more than when your biometric was done. Okay, when will the visa bulletin, you mean, move for sibling visa in Afghanistan? I waited 16 and a half years. So let me check, okay? So you've been waiting for 16 years for a sibling, okay? So let's see what they say. So for 16 years, they are right now about there for categories, about there. But the problem is this, okay? If it's been 16 years, you should contact your immigration attorney, okay? Because just about now, they are processing applications filed in April 2007, okay? So if your application was anywhere between before March 2008, okay, which you're saying 16 years, it's about time, okay? You want to see if your case was, if you got an invoice from National Visa Center, if you paid that invoice, if your visa is being processed, okay? And if you are documentarily qualified. If you are already documentarily qualified, then the next thing that needs to happen, okay, is for the U.S. consulate, U.S. embassy in Afghanistan to schedule the interview for your sibling to come to the United States. Now, after the visa bulletin is current, everybody expects their sibling or their relative to come to the United States pretty fast. It does not move fast. Even if things go very fast, it is still 6 months to a year, to sometimes over 2 years. For example, poor people in Haiti, they have not been given visas and interviews in over 2.5 to 3 years. So even if it's moving, okay, even if the bulletin board, the way you call it, the visa bulletin is current, if the consulate is not moving or scheduling anything, nothing is happening, okay? So what you want to do is talk to your immigration attorney, see where the case is, make sure that you are not stuck, and make sure you become documentarily qualified, so at least you are in line. If it gets to that point, when you are in line, you're at least in line for a consular interview. So Drogba, I submitted VAWA with 485 in October 2022. How long to get a prima facie notice? If you submitted October 22, by now you should have had a prima facie notice. If you didn't get a prima facie notice, you have a problem. You need to call. You can't call them, actually. It's all on paper. So you need to contact your immigration attorney and see why you didn't get a prima facie notice. Is there something you missed? Did you submit your police certificate? Did you submit enough bona fides? Did you submit enough documents to prove that you have a prima facie case? Maybe they don't want to issue a prima facie notice. And if that's the case, you need to fix that. You need to cure that defect, okay? Can I file for a green card from a parent if I have a J1 visa with conditions? If you have a J1 visa, how are you going to file for a green card? Can I file a green card from a parent? So you want your parent to sponsor you. Yeah, the parent can petition for you. If you have a J1 visa with conditions, first thing you need to talk is your immigration attorney, okay? 1, your parent can petition for you. 2, you need to look into other options. 3, if you have a J1 visa that has a 2-year home residency requirement, which is what I'm believing that you're talking about, then you need to find a way to get that 2-year home residency requirement waived, or you might actually have to go back to your country for 2 years, unless you fall into another category that might waive that, okay? So in the meantime, that doesn't mean your parent cannot petition for you. They can petition for you, okay? Talk to an immigration lawyer. Don't start on your own, because it really depends on your current immigration status. Please don't put the same question more than once, especially if I already addressed it. F1, priority date October 2011. When is the interview? Documentarily qualified, already been waiting for years now. For F1? Why are you on F1? F1, it's current from September 2017. So something is not right. You cannot be in F1. You cannot possibly be in F1 since October 2011, because right now they are processing 2017. When is the interview? When they call you, but something is going on there. Something else is right. Please contact your immigration attorney. Something's wrong. Jose, I have DACA and filed in May and I haven't heard anything. My due date is in October 16. You have DACA and you filed in May. You filed in May what? You filed in May to renew, or what have you filed? Because DACA renewals are moving pretty fast. We get them in days. So what's going on there? Jose, give us a call. Something's wrong there, okay? Can my father file for me? I addressed that for you if you overstay your J1 with condition. I already told you that. Hector, my mom had a voluntary departure in 2011 and we haven't been able to get her back. If your mom had a voluntary departure, okay, that means she does not have a removal order. If she applied for a visa and she has been denied. Hector, the only other ways you are going to get her back is if somebody is petitioning for her to come here as a permanent resident. So you or your siblings, assuming you guys are permanent residents or U.S. citizens, assuming U.S. citizens, then you can petition to get her to come here as a green card holder. Okay, so you can petition for her and she can come here as a permanent resident. If she had a voluntary departure and you guys are U.S. citizen and you want to look into options for your mom, give us a call or contact an immigration attorney and see what we can do to help them out, okay? How long it take, Leo, how long does it take for VAWA to get approved? Right now they are slow. It actually takes over 3 years just for the VAWA portion to get approved. And if they don't approve the green card at the same time, it takes another 9 months to a year after that. Paul, how long does it take for a nephew petition to his uncle? There is no such option. There is no way for a nephew to petition for his uncle. Jose, if you're renewing your DACA and it has not been renewed since May, contact an immigration attorney. It does not take that long, okay? DACA renewals are moving pretty fast, like weeks, days, okay? Because it's family-based. Petitioner is U.S. citizen. That's why it's F1. I've been telling you, lady, it is not. F1 petitions. Yes, I know. That's what F means in F1. Okay, petitioner is U.S. citizen. Yes, the category initially, it's for F1 means actually unmarried son and daughter of U.S. citizen. Yes, what I'm trying to tell you is for F1 category, it makes no sense that you are in F1 and it's since 2011, like you say, and it's still pending because right now they are processing 2017. So it shouldn't have been pending. It's 6 years too long. Something is wrong, lady. Okay? What's the next thing to receive in the mail after my fingerprint? It depends on your case type. It depends on your case type. If you had your fingerprint appointment and you already had your fingerprints done, normally, depending on the case, you would get normally the work permit in most cases. What's your take on advanced parole? Can I travel while waiting on my VAWA case? That's a loaded question. It really depends. There are cases in which we tell the client, you must absolutely travel. I need you to travel, please travel. Okay? There are cases in which we tell our clients under any circumstances, under no circumstances, I want you to leave the United States. Okay? I cannot tell you whether you should travel on advanced parole or not. Nobody should take advice from the internet. Nobody should Google and say, hey, can I travel on advanced parole? Okay? Seriously, contact your immigration attorney. If you don't have one, have an immigration attorney know your entire truth and your entire history, your entire immigration history. And obviously, you did file a VAWA case, hopefully with a lawyer, not with a notario, not with a paralegal. And hopefully you have an immigration lawyer that you can call and ask this question. Do not travel on advanced parole without talking to an immigration lawyer. You could be self-deporting and not be able to come back. I got a receipt for fee waiver on my VAWA case, and case was transferred to Vermont. Will I still get the prima facie? The fee waiver has nothing to do with your prima facie. We used an immigration attorney and they told us that she can't come back, but she had the voluntary departure. Okay, Hector, when people have voluntary departure, okay, if she had voluntary departure and she left on time, then she left on time and she does not have removal order. If she had voluntary departure and she overstayed the period of time in which she was supposed to stay, then she actually had a removal order. I cannot tell you based on your one sentence there what your mom has. Okay? Now, if she cannot come back and she keeps being denied and denied and denied, there are other issues at play. It could be she cannot come back for other issues. Is she being denied under 214B, under 212G? What is it on that denial paper that she gets, if she gets one? Okay. How long was she illegal in the United States before she got the voluntary departure? Does she have a criminal record in the United States? She might not. I'm just asking. Okay. So also, did the immigration attorney address only the fact that your mom can't come back to the United States to visit? Or was the immigration attorney, because that's the question maybe you asked, or was the immigration attorney also looking into getting your mom here back as a permanent resident? The answer may be your mom can't come back, but I don't know based on your one sentence. If you want, we can review your entire history. Your mom may need to do an entire Freedom of Information Act request, may need to do an entire FOIA record, basically get an entire record of her entire immigration history from all the government agencies, review that, see exactly what has happened in her entire history, and then make an educated decision based on what is going on in her history, and then tell you what can be done and what cannot be done. Okay, I'm assuming that was done if you had an immigration attorney. Okay, so we can do that. You can give us a call. Okay. Lady, maybe because of the backlogs, we are receiving 60 days notice. Lady, I don't know what that 60 days notice means. 60 days notice is what? That they're closing the case, or what's going on? It shouldn't be a 6-year delay. Farid, I do not expect any immigration reform anytime soon. Okay. I honestly have heard this for a decade. I don't expect anything, and until I see it, I don't even want to think about it. Okay. Zoheb, I've applied VAWA 29 months ago. I am still waiting. Yes, I was just telling the other person that the processing time currently is at 34 months. So hopefully in about 5 months or so, you should be getting something. Let's see. John, I'm the sponsor for an I-140 under the Biden program. Will I be denied if I have a background? It's a non-child criminal record. If you're a sponsor for an I-140, it's not you who's the sponsor. It is your company, I'm assuming, not you personally. So because an individual generally doesn't sponsor for an I-140 unless it's your domestic worker. And if it's your domestic worker, it's a little bit different. So if you're a sponsor for someone, it's probably under your company. And if it's under your company, your personal background does not matter. After receiving 797 notices of action, what next? It depends on what this, by the way, 797 notices of action is just the name of the paper, means nothing. You need to tell me what exactly the notice says. Yeah, Hector, you need to give me more information. Look, if you want, I can review your mom's history, call our office, book a consult. By the way, our consultations are not free. Okay, this is the amount of free consultations that I give. I answer your questions. Consultations with my office are not free. If you want, I can review it. It depends on how extensive it is. There will be a charge for that. But if you do have an immigration attorney, contact them, but get the record from them first. Okay, so we can see what we are looking at. Okay. Conti, my wife had an interview at the US Embassy, but they canceled. They said unforeseen circumstances, we canceled. It does happen. It does happen, Conti, sometimes. Your wife had the interview. Please tell me how long ago, okay? They usually do reschedule within 30 to 60 days. If it's been longer than that, you might want to reach out and have her rescheduled, okay? If it's very recent, you might want to wait a little bit. Hector, would I be charged for the call, or will I be charged if I choose to use your law firm? Absolutely. We do not do free consultations, not for the call. For the actual call, you won't be charged because you actually are calling just to make an appointment. But yes, you absolutely will be paying for the service. We do not work for free. My employees actually have families and children, and they need to pay for their groceries and health insurance and their kids' vacations. How long does it take to get a green card through I-360 after approving? So sometimes you get the green card approved immediately after the 360 is approved if they are waiving the appearance at an interview. So if Vermont is actually approving the green card, they could approve it right away or immediately thereafter. If they decide that they need to call you to an interview, they are going to transfer your case from Vermont. They are going to transfer it to your local office, and they are going to call you for an interview. In that case, how long it takes really depends on how long the local office takes to schedule you for an interview. So it really depends where you are located. In some offices, it could be a few months. In other places, it could be another couple of years. After I-130 interview, USCIS is actively reviewing my case. How long does it take? They do not have a deadline. Once they have interviewed you, they can call you for a second interview, third interview, fourth interview. I just had one. They called us back for a fourth interview. So it's like 3 years later, okay? Fourth interview, weird case. But yes, so no, they do not have a deadline. The US citizen, assuming you are the spouse of a US citizen, can actually sue them in court to make a decision, okay? My sister is in Haiti, and with political issues, embassy keeps closing and opening. What can I do? You can try to get your sister here on parole, okay? We have plenty of people who are stuck in Haiti, and some of them, we have been able to get them out on parole. Not all of them, but some of them, yes. When you become US citizen through asylum, can you go visit your home country? Yes, you can, but only and only after you become a US citizen. What we see happen a lot is people apply for asylum, they get the asylum approved, they get the green card. The first day after they get the green card, they go visit their country. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wally, my marriage-based EAD has been pending for 11 months. Is this normal? Any advice? Wally, I'm concerned a little bit because 11 months is a little too long. Second, in most cases, what we have recently seen is actually they are making decisions and approving green cards before they are actually approving the work permits. So contact your lawyer and see what's going on there. In some cases, depending on where your case actually is, you might want to see what's going on with your work permit. If you have a job offer, you might be able to expedite that work permit, but you actually have to have a job offer or a very good reason to expedite the work permit. Hector, thank you. It's hard to trust attorneys when it's very expensive and all you want is an honest answer. Absolutely. But you are not going to get an honest answer if you are looking for a free attorney. How do I schedule an interview to see what my options are? So Empress, what you're looking for, it's not to schedule an interview. You are looking to schedule a consultation. If you want, by the way, we do not give free consultations. Our consultations are very in-depth. They start at 30 minutes and they go up to an hour sometimes. It depends on which option you choose. Our number is 954-466-0070. Okay, and you can find our link on our profile. Okay, and you can either call or use the links online to do that. For Hector, who chose to ask before, it's very hard to trust attorney where it's very expensive. You can see all of our reviews online. Okay. When you become U.S. citizen through asylum, can you visit your home country? I addressed that. If you have a 2 years green card and your wife filing for divorce, is it safe to travel out of the United States? No. Simple answer, no. And you have more issues than that. Okay, way more issues than that. How much wait time for spouses interview in Pakistan? I've been talking for too long. So how much time for spouses interview in Pakistan? So it depends. So where is your case stuck? Was your I-130 approved? Is your case at National Visa Center? Is your case documentarily qualified? JJ, tell me exactly where your case is stuck. Rocio, how long does the residency take by I-485U visa? 8 to 9 years? 8 to 9 years. Blessing, babe. After receiving 765 applications for employment authorization, when next and how long? Depending on the basis for your I-765 application, okay? So it really depends. What is your work permit based on? Okay. Hector, we work in all 50 states, okay? And all over the world, we have clients in all 50 states. We are located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Faisal, any information about E2 visa? Yes, we do those day in, day out. If you are from a country with which United States has a treaty, and you are from one of those countries and you have money to invest in the United States to open a new business, then yes, we can discuss E2 visa. Anthem, can I travel to my home country with advanced parole? I have an I-130, I-485 pending. I addressed this question to someone else ahead of time. Whether you can travel to outside to your home country on advanced parole, that is the hardest question to answer, because it really depends on your entire immigration history. It depends on your criminal history. It depends on what kind of case you have pending. Just because you're telling me it's an I-130 485 doesn't tell me a lot. Even if it's just spouse, it doesn't tell me a lot. It doesn't tell me a lot about what has happened before you applied for this, okay? So normally, maybe. There are clients I tell them absolutely don't travel, and there are clients I have to beg to go. Why NVC visa go backward in India? Oh my gosh, Udesh, it is so bad. It is really bad. Employment-based cases for India went back about 3 years. It is just horrible. It's the way they do the calculations, is the number of visas that are available. It's a whole process. They actually did publicize why it did go backwards. It's just a nightmare there. Udesh, for F2A category, Udesh, hold on, let's see. So you are from India. For F2A category, they are now processing applications filed in October 2017. 2017. So think about it. Those are spouses and children and unmarried sons and daughter, spouses and children on permanent residence. So they are processing October 2017 and add 2 years to that, okay, of processing, because that's how they work. So we are looking at about 8 years for these poor people from India to bring their spouses and children from India. Okay, it's horrendous. Something needs to change. When can you visit your country after green card? Assuming you didn't get your green card based on asylum, you can visit your country immediately after you got your green card. My I-130 has been approved. I got to interview, but they said someone is using my ID. How long until I get the card? I do not know. Something else is going on in your case. I don't know. How long is the process right now for parole in place? I haven't done one in a couple of months. I saw a colleague of mine telling us, because we all belong to all these immigration lawyers groups, they said it's about 16 months. It does take a long time for parole in place. So yeah. How do I prove that I live with my adoptive kid for 2 years if the kid is still overseas? Here is the issue. You try to get around immigration rules and regulations by adopting a child and not going through the whole immigration process. Probably. I don't know. I'm assuming, because it's a sentence here. I don't know more about you. I don't know anything about you, really. We don't know if you're in a Hague country or not Hague country. We don't know if it's a family adoption or not a family adoption. If you have not physically lived with the child, and so you need legal and physical custody of the child for 2 years. You cannot bring that child here and confer any immigration benefit on that child. So you need to look at other ways to bring that child to the United States. Yeah, USCIS is asking you for proof and you won't be able to provide it. How many years of school do I need to become an immigration attorney? It's something I'm interested in. Well, in the United States, you need to have first a 4-year college degree. Then you need a 3-year law school. And then you need to specialize in becoming an immigration attorney. So 7 years minimum after high school. We do take continuing education on a regular basis. So we need to maintain our licensing, and we need to take a certain number of hours. So it's 33 hours a year on a minimum basis, for example, depending on the state. And most of us take over 100 hours every single year. Immigration and tax are the most complicated areas of law in the United States. How long does it take after green card for parents' kids to bring to us from Nepal? Can you rephrase the question, please? My girlfriend, over 21, has a petition from her mom ongoing. Can she file a fiancé visa for her too? No. Can a full-time student work? No. Well, they can work on campus. That's it. I filed asylum but got a misdemeanor for battery and assault, domestic violence. Will I still get a green card? Talk to an immigration lawyer. That could disqualify you from a green card. Domestic violence is one of those offenses. It is one of those offenses. Okay. Simon, I've been here in US for 45 years. Do I have to take a test to become a citizen? Absolutely. It may be a shorter test, but you have to. How difficult is it for an asylum pending person to marry a citizen? Same process as anybody else. To get married is not the problem. Getting your green card through the US citizen after that is the problem. Do not think of doing it on your own because it's just forms, okay? That's the biggest mistake most people make when it comes to immigration. Same with taxes. They actually think I'm just going to fill out forms. I'm just going to do paperwork. I'm just going to go to the notario down the street, to the notary public, or I'm just going to do paperwork and I'm just going to fill out some forms. You're trying to save money, and having to fix that later costs you double, if not more. And that is only in the cases that can actually be fixed, because sometimes you can't even fix it. Don't do that. Do you handle VAWA cases? Yes, we do. And it doesn't matter where you live. We handle VAWA cases day in, day out. Unfortunately, there is such a demand for them. It's so sad. Yes, Chuba, it's family adoption. Adopted the kid before becoming citizen. I need to prove 2 years staying together. Unless you actually live in the country and staying with the child for 2 years there, you cannot bring the child here. So you need to sponsor them for a green card first, and then when they get here, they can get citizenship. All right, guys, I've been talking for 45 minutes, and apparently my throat doesn't like me talking much more. So I will see you again on Tuesday. I think it's my next time. See you guys.